We are coming out of a pretty intense shadow work period. Even if you didn't kind of like, it was like a lot of past things that we thought that we had moved past surfaced back up. And there could have been like confusion as to why this is coming back up. There could have been, it just was a lot that was surfacing back up to be addressed, even after you felt like you had addressed it enough. But the point is, when these come back up, it is to recognize the progress of how far you have come within your healing. Truly, there is a awareness that I am tapped into that this collective has seen the progress, because when it surfaces back up, it's not nearly as painful and excruciating as it was when you first visited it. Yes, these wounds might come up for the rest of your life, but please notice the progress and the growth each time they resurface, and how they don't take such an impact or a toll in which the ways that they once did before. I thought that we would dig into the wounds that you just addressed and healed more aspects of them for this collective. This isn't meant to resonate for everybody, so take what resonates, leave what doesn't. This is Ashley Sacred, the Reckoning Company's Sacred Woundings deck. Go check it out. I have it linked down at the bottom. All right, source love energy and those that are elevated. What are the wounds that this collective has just worked through? Ooh. 144 on the timer. Needing to heal from narcissistic abuse will show up as cycles of manipulation, control, and devaluation, leading to self-doubt, confusion, and diminished self-worth. It often stems from the abuser's deep insecurity and need for power, creating a dynamic that blocks genuine love, trust, and mutual express. I am aligned with some powerful warriors. Narcissistic abuse is a fast track to ascension. It is. I don't care what anybody says. When the narc meets the empath, that'll accelerate all your gifts, all of your abilities, all of it. So it feels like it makes sense because it's kind of like close to the holidays, blah, blah, blah. There could be old wounds. If you have ever dealt with narcissistic abuse, the mental confusion and manipulation that was done to y'all for control, so that they had better power over you. You learn to adopt that way of thinking over time, and you have been rewiring and deconstructing. Get sometimes when these wounds surface up, you even like learn to gaslight your own self. But when you remember not what the narcissist programmed you to believe, but what you truly believe in your personal truth, you start to believe in yourself. I'm tapped into, it says, if self-doubt, the self-doubt and confusion that transpires, the not knowing what the heck is going on. You recognize that was a wound projected out on you, and it was never yours to hold. It was the way that they felt about themselves. And I am really proud of you, because that is a doozy, and that takes a lifetime of healing. A lifetime of healing. And you're never the same after. I believe that because of inferiority wound, needing to heal from an inferiority wound, this is the wound that they probably projected out onto you, will show up as feelings of inadequacy, self-doubt, or a constant need to prove oneself. This is why you feel like you constantly need to be better or good enough, or you feel unworthiness, you don't feel good enough, you don't feel you need acceptance, or you're learning not to, right? You're finding your own acceptance. But these are wounds that you are healing, right? We're never done healing, I don't believe. But each time you are conquering these, and these are probably the hardest wounds to heal from. So I really give it to you. This wound may manifest as fear of failure, comparing oneself to others, or avoiding challenges due to the belief that you're not good enough or worthy of success. But you are. And I feel like you're calling your power back. And when we go through these deep periods of shadow work, especially with this heavy of woundings, okay, You find how strong you are and tenacious you are, that you made it through that. That you made it through that, and you are a warrior. You are a survivor. And your message, and your testimony is meant to help those that are still facing these things, okay? Do not let them still control your life or promote fear into your life that you cannot overcome that self-doubt that they wanted you to feel, so you wouldn't believe in yourself, so that you continue to like be the only thing that holds you back from your own potential and capabilities, because that's what they wanted you to feel. That's what they wanted you to feel. So they did a really good job at programming you. But you recognize that. That's too many. One more. A fear of change. Will show up as resistance or anxiety towards new experiences, often rooted in past instability or the unknown. It may manifest as a fear of loss, doubt in your ability to adapt, or a desire to stay in comfort zones, urging you to embrace transformation and trust in your capacity for growth and resilience. This makes sense, because there was probably a place in space where you had to like tread lightly or walk on eggshells for fear of like, and you would learn to read energy and body language really well, fearful that if you did the wrong thing or said the wrong thing or stepped the wrong way, of an explosion, right? So this is like, over time, it's flight or fight, right? Potentially. But change, you're learning to see, I feel like these are things that you're working on, not meaning that you need to work on them. They're things that I feel like you are working on. You're learning to embrace change. You're learning to see that it's not necessarily always a bad thing, or it's not going to lead to worst case scenarios, okay, or catastrophizing in your brain. I'm going to share this card that I think I've shared with you all before, but this is psychological and neurological damage that you've been healing from. Did you know that narcissistic abuse survivors, their brain scan looks the same as somebody who is as a war veteran? And this is like PTSD, right? And what happens is you start to catastrophize, in worst case scenario, every little thing in your life, because of the fear that they instilled in you. Listen, if I'm being led to grab this card, and this is what's coming up, I believe with my whole heart and spirit that source love energy is directing me to this card to let you know you are doing it. You are doing the work within it's unfortunately a widespread epidemic, pandemic, whatever you want to call it, of this kind of abuse happening, and there's not enough awareness, there's not enough education on it. It just continues to run rampant, and it's awful. But I feel like you're rewiring and deprogramming, and you're no longer doing this. If you're going to make up stories in your head about people and circumstances, please make them love stories with happy endings. I put this like up to where I can see it all day, every day. You're learning to think best case scenario instead of a worst case scenario. Rewiring and reprogramming your brain to think good things and positive things about situations, outcomes, people, the perceptions of others. It takes a lot of work, but you healing from something so scary to heal from, it's giving warrior. And I'm very, very honored to be aligned with such a warrior collective. I love you guys.